Hello, and thank you for watching another installment of Virsec Demos. A print spooler zero-day vulnerability has given rise to a multivariant bug called PrintNightmare. The security vulnerability affects Windows operating systems, and it occurs within the print spooler service with variants that allow for remote code execution, and also privilege escalation. Once this vulnerability is exploited, an attacker has the ability to remotely log into a system, take over the existing workload, and effectively own the system until the offending service is terminated. To this point, whenever a patch is distributed, another vulnerability is found and subsequent patches need to be applied. Currently, there is not a complete patch to solve this vulnerability in its entirety, and even in some cases, some patching is causing print to fail entirely. With Virsec Security Platform's unique ability to protect the system workload from the levels of host, memory, and web while the application is running, this threat would not be an issue. Let's take a look at an example of PrintNightmare and Virsec Security Platform's detection and protection from this and any other zero-day exploit. Here we have a Windows server with an active print spooler service. We can see that the service is started, and the spool SV process has an active process ID. We also see that there's a lower privilege user present on the server. This will help demonstrate the privilege escalation described in the vulnerability. Over here, we have our Kali attack system with the exploit script ready to go. We've wrapped the publicly available exploit script CVE 2021-1675 Python in a bash script. The script performs more recon testing and adds an inline forward shell connection instead of the well-known MSF Venom reverse shell, which is caught by Windows Defender. On the Virsec Security Platform, we have the CMS, the Central Management System, which is an integral part of the product. The host is currently in detection mode, whereas we will be able to launch the exploit and observe the forensics of the kill chain. Let's run the exploit from Kali and see if we can get a shell. Here, we launch the script pointing to the Windows Server 192.168.45.113 using port 445 and referencing this Kali server at 192.168.45.11. The port is tested, the SMB server is up, the print server is up, the invading DLL has been executed from the shared directory, and now we have a connection. Notice the amount of time it took Virsec to detect the attack. We type hostname and see that we are indeed the host. Just to make sure, we type system info. We see the information about the Windows server, but also its patch level, which will come in handy should we want to do some additional attacks. We type who am I? And see we are only identified as NT Authority user. Typing query user shows only an administrator logged in. Right now, as an attacker, I own this system. Just in case someone gets suspicious and starts restarting services and closing down ports, let's run a netstat -AB to see what other listening ports are open. Looks like we have 135, 445, 3306, 3389, 8080, and 8011 to use some other time in another way. Over on the Windows server, we see the print spooler is still running. We also see the spool SV process running, but one of the libraries associated with the process is our bind shell DLL. This is how we got in. Here, we see a library injection attack. This would be the bind shell that we noticed before underneath the spool SV process. Under protection actions, we just monitor and let the kill chain continue. Above, we see another library injection, and this comes from our input where we typed hostname. Hostname is not a bad command, but we have to control the actions that we would maybe deem suspicious, and we've configured an alert for it. Above this, we see system info, which is also a good command for a system admin to have, but typically not during production, so we flagged this. Now let's go clean up the damage done to the Windows server and put this server into protection mode in Virsec. Run the attack again. And this time, we didn't get far as an attacker. However, notice how quickly Virsec reacted to the attack and took a protective action. Within microseconds, this process is suspended and the attacker will be waiting for far too long to stay with it, or the script will abort when the print service is restarted. The attacker gains no access to the system, with zero dwell time to inflict even the least bit of damage, thanks to the application-aware workload protection at runtime that Virsec provides. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. For other helpful Virsec demos, please visit www.virsec.com/demo-center. Thank you for watching, be safe, and stay protected.